30-day challenge for Scoliosis Awareness Month. I'm so happy it's finally June and we can do something good for our scoliosis this whole month. There's going to be 5 to 10 minute videos of me taking you through some yoga, some scoliosis corrective, maybe a little bit of workout, just something good for our scoliosis every single day that you can follow along with, no matter your curve type, no matter if you have fusion, just to get you moving and feeling good in your scoliosis. I'm also going to be running a competition, so you are going to have the chance to win a spot on my group coaching the next time around. I believe it'll be starting in July or August. Throughout the next 30 days, I'm going to say a word. There's going to be 5 words. At the end of the 30 days, whoever can tell me the 5 words that I have said randomly throughout my videos, I'll give you a warning before I do it. I'll be like, okay, the first word of the competition is da 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 da. Whoever can tell me all the 5 words is in the competition, and then I'm just going to draw a name out of a hat and you can win a chance to be on my group coaching. So watch the videos, do the work, find out what these 5 words are going to be and win a spot on my group coaching. I would love to have you. You get to work with me live, we get to meet, I get to see your spine, all those good things. So join the competition as well. All you have to do is watch all of these videos. So you get to enter a competition and you get to do something good for your scoliosis. So it's a win-win. So for video number 1, we are going to be working on our standing corrections. I'm going to get you to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, and you're either going to bring your feet parallel, or if this is uncomfortable, you can have a slight little bit of external rotation through your feet. I want you to check that your feet and your ankles and your knees are all aligned. So our standing corrections is just like the number 1 thing that we need to learn when we have scoliosis, because we tend to want to stand like this. So if I can teach you how to stand better throughout your day when you're doing exercise, everything, then you can start to incorporate this into your daily routine and just notice how you're standing and try to stand a little bit better. And we're going to progress on this as we go through the 30 days. So getting your ankles, knees, hips aligned, bringing your hands to your hips. I want you to notice, are your hips shifting to one side? If they are, I want you to bring them back so they stack over your ankles. If you can feel that maybe one hip is hitching up a little bit, I want you to drive that hip down. Remember, we're just talking about little millimeter movements here, not big drastic changes, just little millimeter movements to bring our hips back. Try to pull the hip down if one is hiking up, and if you feel a little bit of rotation through your hips, try and bring them back into alignment. So starting with your hips, we always want to work from the bottom and come up. Then you can take your hands to your rib cage, and again, now you're going to notice, am I shifting or tilting over to one side? If you are, you're going to bring yourself up and try and bring your ribs so they stack over your hips. Notice if you feel like you're poking your ribs out a little bit more on one side, then can you pull those ribs in? Can you squeeze your front ribs? If you feel like you have one rib poking out a little bit, try and pull it in. Try and get your body in a nice straight long line. I know it's hard when we have scoliosis. And then you're going to bring your hands to your shoulders and just check in here. I also really encourage you to have a mirror out in front of you or beside you or somewhere that you can look at yourself and see what you're doing. Just check with your shoulders. If you're like this, try and pull yourself down. You want your shoulders down away from your ears and try and get everything stacked on top of each other. Then with your head, if your head's doing this or it's doing this, I'm really exaggerating it, but you know what I mean. You're going to bring your head back over so you try and get everything nice and aligned. And we want to make sure that we don't flare through the ribs as we do this. We keep our ribs in, keeping our natural lordotic and kyphotic curves in our back as we do our scoliosis corrections. Okay, so now you're standing nice and tall, and it's not easy. It might be hard, and trust me, I know. You're going to take your hands to your hips, and you can just drive your hands into your hips gently to get a little bit of traction through your spine. Maybe just close your eyes for a moment and take some deep breaths, just holding this corrected standing position. You can stay here, or you can bring your hands either up to your ribs and try and pull from here. There's lots of places we can take our hands, either onto our heads as well, with the fingertips coming towards the back of the head and the thumbs just in front of your ears, and another form of traction, just gently pulling your head up towards the ceiling. You can take the hands to the crown of your head here and try and push your head up into your hands. Breathing, holding these corrections, teaching our body what it's like to be corrected, to be straight, to be long. You can take your hands to your shoulders. I call this shot hands, where the elbows are in line with the shoulders. And if you really know your calves, and by know I mean like you know exactly what your calves are doing, you can keep your shot hand on your convex side and reach your concave arm up and out. So this can help pull the ribs in and open the ribs on that concave side. But only do this if you know for certain your calves. If not, you can stay here, you can do this, or you can even just stay down here. This is lovely as well. So you can stay here and breathe. You can practice this today, maybe when you're making a cup of coffee, or after you've cooked dinner, or some point throughout the day. Acknowledge how you're standing, correct yourself, take some deep breaths. That's going to be it for today, my beautiful scoliosis family. I will see you tomorrow.